Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we're in Aramac and we're about to hit the Sculpture Trail. So why don't you go and get yourself a cold drink and get your feet up for the next 20 minutes or so. Come and join Ali and I for the adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, as we said in the intro, we've come to Aramac to do the Sculpture Trail and we're staying in the Freedom Camp. Now, don't be confused here because there's two Freedom Camps in town. We're in the $6 camp, which is essentially a gravel pit with a few tables and chairs, but there is access to fresh water here. But there is another Freedom Camp here, which is located on the northern side of town, or the Hewenden side of town, where you pay $20 a night for your first 2 nights. And if you pay for 2, you can stay for 5, which is great value, and you can get power and water there and use that as your base to explore the entire area. But here's our spot, just over here, plenty of room. We've got a water tap just out the front of where we are, and over here we've got a beautiful sunset going on. So we've just come down into the main street of Aramac for a quick walk around, and this is where you'll find the white bull right in the centre of town. Here he is. Very cool, and he stands directly out the front of the Aramac Hotel, which also offers, let's get that Alison there, which also offers some free camping. All you do is just go around the back. I imagine that you normally go in and buy a beer to show your hospitality or to thank them for their hospitality, but yeah, quiet little street. There's a general supermarket here, there's a laundry, and there's also a butcher. Well, just before we start today, you're going to have to excuse the sunglasses. It's very glary here, isn't it, Al?
It is very glary, yes.
As you know, we're staying in Aramac and we've come out here for one reason, and that's to do the Lake Dunn Sculpture Trail, which apparently is pretty good, isn't it?
I've heard good things.
Yeah, we've heard it from a number of people now. I think just about everywhere they go, they say you're going to go and do the Sculpture Trail.
Yes.
But we weren't able to find any information about it. But what we do know is from what we've read online, it's about a 200-kilometre loop, which is going to be exciting. And there's about 50 to 60 sculptures to see, but don't worry, as we go around I'm going to show you all of them. I'm not going to bore you with video of every single one of them, but I will drop some numbers in next time so we know how many there is at the very end, and hopefully we get to see them all.
I hope so too, yes.
Yeah,
I hope we don't miss any.
Exactly, and from some of the research that we've done, you probably need a 4-wheel drive to do this. Out to Lake Dunn's all tar, but some of the other roads are corrugated dirt roads, and I think about 2/3 of it is actually off-road or gravel roads.
Yes, I think
that you need to do. But anyway, let's get on with the day. We're going to head up to the first sculpture for us, which is the goanna and the kangaroos riding a bush bike. Should be pretty good to see. Anyway, to Lake Dunn. We're doing the Sculpture Trail as we charged a little bit earlier. We've come to the very first one. It's just some kangaroos riding a bike, and a goanna too, I think, isn't it, Al?
I think so.
Anyway, I'll give you a look. We're going to stop at probably about 10 of these today, but I will cut in a lot of photos, all the ones that we don't talk about. But I'm going to put this one in only because it's the first one. So here we go. All right, so we've got a couple of roos here, and I think that, yeah, that's a goanna. That's riding the bike. This one's all made out of push bikes and barbed wire, but apparently as you go around, they get a little more intricate. I'm looking forward to seeing JT this morning. He's just before we get to Lake Dunn. So we'll jump in the car and we'll head off because we've got about 200 kilometres to go. The next one on the tour is of Jonathan Thurston. It's a great sculpture they made here. It's just made out of all the machinery parts and those sorts of things. They've thrown an old Toyota badge in there for the sponsorship, and he's got his mouth guard in. It's pretty good, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, it is actually quite good.
got to say, for the sculpture trail so far, we've seen some great sculptures, but this is only a small one, but it's one of my favourites. I'll give you a look. It's a little echidna. Check this bloke out. So it's just all made out of star pickets and chains, and they put a lance nest at the front here. How good's that? Wish I was that arty. This emu is really cool. All of its chicks' bodies are made out of old petrol tanks, Hondas and Suzukis. That looks really good. So we've now come about 70 kilometres out of Aramac and we've come to Lake Dunn. There's a campground out here. I'll give you a bit of a look around at the moment. There's also a great sculpture here of a yabby. We're going to continue the trail, but from this point forward, if you've got a two-wheel drive or you've got an on-road caravan, the roads turn to gravel, and it's gravel for about the next 130 k's. If you want to come out and camp at Lake Dunn, bookings are essential. It's cash only. So cabin or the pink hut will cost you $25. It's $25 for a powered site. But if you want an unpowered site, it's $10 a vehicle a night. We've got some amenities just up here at the top of the hill by the lake. So there's obviously toilets and showers and things like that. Then you have the lake itself. And just off over here to the right is the campground. It's quite a nice spot. It's a little bit cool for swimming today, but Lake Dunn looks really, really good. Obviously you can come out here and do all the motorised water sports. I'm sure fishing is definitely on the cards when you come out here. But yeah, great spot. The camp, as I said, it's a little remote when you come out here, but it's not too bad. You can bring in your off-road or your on-road caravan, doesn't really matter. There's plenty of little camper vans and all sorts of stuff out here in the campgrounds today. Yeah, but it's a beautiful place to come and stay. We got tipped off about this one when we were back at Emerald last year. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to come out and do a drive and do a sculpture trail in the same way. The other thing you'll find when you come out to Lake Dunn is there's access to fuel here. There is a sign on it today that says that there's no unleaded available, so that might be something to think about if you're heading out this way. Just check with the campsite at Lake Dunn if they have fuel when you get out here. The diesel costs $2.19, which isn't too bad for this area out here, but you'd probably have to go into the campground to find out how you access that. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. This is the yabby at the Lake Dunn campground. He's pretty cool. When we're at Lake Dunn, they just give you a little bit of a warning about on-road caravans down this track. I probably wouldn't. I would bring our caravan down. I think we'd have too many issues. The road's a little corrugated, but it's in reasonably good condition. But I would certainly check those conditions if you're coming down here in the wet weather, because I reckon she'd get pretty slippery or pretty boggy pretty quick. What do you think, Al?
Oh yeah, it changes seasonally, so always check before you come down the road. Yeah,
you probably just stop in at Lake Dunn and have a talk to the people there if you're going to continue on with the sculpture trail, but certainly well worth it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a good one at the front of Clare Station. It's a helicopter up there. I know they use a lot of these sorts of things to assist in rounding up the cattle, and it's out in the bush, so yeah, that's cool. Ironically, the only sculpture we never found was this one. Where the hell is bloody Wally? Ali and I have just been driving on the road now for probably about the last 15 minutes. We hadn't seen any sculptures for a while, and you start to second guess yourself. You're thinking we're going the right direction. We were, and as we come down, we almost missed this one. I had to turn around and come back and find it. There it is. It's a golden orb spider. Just sat there between the trees. That's cool.
It is very good.
As long as we don't find a real one. Ready to head off to the next sculpture, but something that we've noticed since we've come on the gravel side of the sculpture trail is a lot of the sculptures are orientated away from us. Like we'd have a better chance of seeing them if we're driving towards them. But certainly when we're in Aramac this morning, that's where the start of the sculpture trail is. But it's up to you which way that you'd like to do it. Maybe some people would rather come the dirt road first and then finish up on the tar, but we start on the tar and worked our way onto the dirt.
Yes.
And yeah, and as I said, since we've come onto the dirt, it looks like it's a little bit orientated the other way, but we'll continue on and see what we say. Just before I show you the next sculpture, which isn't too bad, I'll show you that one in a second. Just have a look at the landscape here. It's got all those little termite mounds. It's there everywhere. You do see a lot up here, but in this particular area, it's very reminiscent of the Cape in certain areas that we went to there. But here's our sculpture. This one's a biplane. Looks like it's made out of old 44-gallon drums, this one. One thing you do need to be careful of when you come out here, there's a few landmines when you're walking out and around the different sculptures, isn't there, Al?
You need to watch where you're walking,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
and it tends to get up between your toes around here, so
There's some large piles.
just watch where you're walking. This is a good one. It's a bottle tree made out of barbed wire. It's got a couple of crows sitting in it, I think. That's cool, isn't it, Al? Little spider's web there.
Yes, I saw the spider's web. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're crows or magpies.
Yeah.
Next one on the tour is the eagle. It's got a big snake in his mouth there. That's cool. One of the things we see a lot out here in the outback is we see a lot of eagles, particularly by the size of the road. They love to eat a bit of kangaroo carcass, but they're amazing to see and they're absolutely enormous. I've got some file footage here, or some old footage here, that we took, I think, just outside of Eromanga. I'll cut it in and show you one. Well, buck me, I never thought I'd see this. Ali and I encountered a snake. It's our first one up close, isn't it?
For a while, yeah.
Yeah, since we were coming down the road. The bloody GoPro died at the precise moment that we wanted to film it. But I do have some in-car vision that we got through the dash cam. So we got the reaction inside the car, and we've also got the snake we saw on the outside. And I'll do the best I can to blow the snake up. Well, not literally blow the snake up, but enlarge the snake. I think it might have been Taipan.
I'm not sure. I know it jumped, and I've no idea how high snakes can jump, but it scared the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, as soon as we stopped, Alison went down the window to film it, and the snake curled up and just launched itself at the car. It was quite I'm really spewing that we missed the footage, but
Me too.
It is what it is. But yeah, we'll put in the best we can and give you a bit of a look at what we saw.
You'll get a laugh.
You will. It could be. He wasn't moving. He could be dead. Or he's just laying there. Here he is. There you go. He's alive. There you go. Get him.
I'm trying. Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh no.
Found a huge snake out here. Got the alley cat jumping.
It's coming back towards us.
Oh, check him out. He's huge. He had a go. There he goes. Must be just out there sunning himself. Some of the sculptures are a little hard to see. We're just coming down the Aramac Road, and I was looking at this grid in front of me, and just out the corner of my eye, I caught this possum drinking a beer up in the tree there. He's pretty cool. He's got a beer, Al. Of course he's got a beer. So you're quite small. This is the Ranger Valley Drover, and it's a little working dog. He's good though, he's on a big rock.
He's very cute.
Okay, I think we've got about maybe 4, possibly 5 more sculptures to see on our way back into Aramac, so we'll drop in, we'll see those. So we just come across the top of the jump up, and this is where you come to the return soldier, which is a mounted infantry soldier sitting up there on his horse. Looks absolutely fantastic, and it's a beautiful location for it. It's right out across the valley. Really, really good. Now then, I've just taken a detour off the main sculpture circuit. We come down to an historical area which is called Grey Rock. Grey Rock is famous because there's engravings all over from people who've travelled through here before. Now, a lot of the ones that are on here are very, very recent. In fact, we've already seen a couple of dates that date this year. But allegedly, some of the names that are engraved into the rocks here were put on here back when the coach service come through here over 100 years ago. So I'll give you a bit of a look around. You can see all over the sandstone here, people have engraved their names in there over the years. But it's very, very hard to tell what might be recent, other than the dates on there, or what was original. The other thing to note too, if you come down here, is that there's a pathway. You've got to stick to it when you're walking around, but there's a toilet here, so if you need to go, there's one located down here. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe 200 to 300 metres off the main road down here, simple drive down. So we're coming towards the end of the sculpture trail now. We've only got about another 1 or 2 to go. This one here I quite enjoy. This is an eagle with its chicks in the nest, and it's just sat up here across the top of the rocks. It's quite nice to look at. It's a beautiful area. Here's another good one, just made out of machinery parts. A couple of kangaroos fighting. That looks really good. It's quite realistic, isn't it, Al? Alison just saw a couple of emus back over here, so I'll just have a quick pan around so I can see anything. But
no, I think we may have frightened them off.
Yeah. All right, that was either the last one or we've got one more to go. Anyway, we're going to go and find out. So you might be able to hear an alarm going off in the background. We just went through we just come through a grate over here that has the alarm on it to scare the cattle off that are standing around it. But here's another one. This one's called White Bull. It looks like it's made out of an old, I can see a Magna on there, a Suzuki. Yeah, it's plenty of used parts, but what I love about all these things, I don't know who the artist is, they always make them anatomically correct. Why is that? Well, we're back to where we started, Al, except we're going the other way out of the gate this time because we've come to the end of the sculpture trail. Yes. And we can confirm it is about 200 kilometres and there is about 50 to 60 sculptures as you go around.
I stopped counting.
I counted up to about 11, then I stopped from there. What was your favourite?
I really liked the return soldier, actually.
Yeah, the returning soldier, he was excellent. Just the way it was set up on top of, was it horsetail? Gorge, yeah. Just the way it was set up on top of that and looked out over the valley, that was fantastic. And I liked the bottle tree. I thought the bottle tree was really good. The
bottle tree was pretty good, but yeah it was, the sculptures in general were very good. The artists, I'm not quite sure how many were involved, quite imaginative and interesting. Yeah. I liked it. If
you follow your map on Wikicamps, it's pretty easy to find them as you go along. Yes. We didn't get any reception out there, but I found in the offline mode I could still see where the car was moving, which was, I don't know how that works, but anyway, it works like that. Yes. So we knew when we're getting close to a sculpture, because some of them are a little hard to see. Yes. So you really need to keep your eyes out, don't you?
You do.
Yeah, and strongly suggest to stop over in Lake Dunn, even if you just want to stop there and have lunch, because it takes about, what did it take us, about 5 to 6 hours to get around?
It's about a 5 to 6 hour. There's, no amenities outside Lake Dunn, I think, and the Grey Rock, and I think they do sell some, some items at Lake Dunn in the high season, not in the off season. So make sure you've got like water and something to eat, and you're fully fueled.
Yeah, make sure you got plenty of fuel. You can only get in Lake Dunn, and I think we showed you a bit earlier in the video, there was no unleaded fuel out there, so you certainly need to be mindful of that. But if you come out this way, if you're heading up to Hughenden, come by Aramac, spend the night in the cheap camp, or spend it over in the, if you need power and water, spend it over in the Freedom Camp for $20 a night. We'll show you that, or we've showed you that. Yeah, just come out here and enjoy it. Go and take the day out, pack a lunch, and away you go. It's fantastic.
Yes, the scenery was amazing, and the animals was amazing. So it's a lot to see.
Oh yeah,
it's really quite enjoyable.
If you love a roo, an emu, a cow, a snake, or whatever, you're going to see plenty of them when you get out around here. Right. So our plan for today is we're packing up and we're leaving Aramac today, and we're going to go up the road. We're going to stop in Muttaburra and check out the dinosaur museum up there. I think they've got some sort of exhibition up there or centre, so we'll go and then we'll check that out for you. Then we're going to start heading further north towards Hughenden. To Muttaburra, one of the things that we always do when we drive on these really thin country roads is that when we get a road train or a semi-trailer or something come, we just stop on the side of the road and wait for the truck to pass. We think it's safest for everyone, don't we, Al?
It is safer, yes.
Yeah, and just lets them get about their day. We're in no hurry, so you know we've got all day to get to where we're going to. Thank you, mate.
And they generally appreciate the courtesy.
Yeah, they're always very appreciative. All right, on to Muttaburra. So we're just pulling into the town of Muttaburra. It's famous for the Muttaburrasaurus, that's it?
It is.
Here it is here. As you come into town, we didn't bloody film anything, but I'll see if I can pick it up. Here we go, some here. Oh. They have dinosaur prints all over the road from about 10 kilometres out. Just, I suppose, starting to build a little bit of hype as you're coming in. And as we come into town here on, I think it's just here now.
Yes.
There's like another one of those camps like we saw at Aramac. So this is another Freedom Camp. This is also one that you pay $20 a night for 2 nights, but you can stay for 5. You can see that one over here.
No, it's really good.
Thank you. So we'll go into town. Maybe the visitor centre's open. If it is, we'll go in. We'll have a bit of a look around. We come here last time, it was a public holiday, so we get much of a chance to have too much of a look around. So let's get in there and have a look. Well, we've come to the Muttaburrasaurus Interpretation Centre, and this is open all the time. So if you do come into Muttaburra, all you do is just come down, open the door, and in you come. You walk around, tell you all about the Muttaburrasaurus. It's free and it's certainly worth doing, but there is a place you can make a donation to assist it in its continued operation. It's just here. Bit of a novelty for the kids. They can put their coin in and let it go. And here he is, the mighty Muttaburrasaurus. Check him out. I've got to say, it doesn't matter how old you get, I always love a dinosaur. What do you think of the Interpretation Centre, Al?
I quite enjoy it. I had a quick look last time we were here.
Yes.
And it was good. I like it. You
can
learn lots of things. It's not overly like lots of information, but just enough to get an idea of the Muttaburra and I guess science and how they deem dinosaurs. I think the popular thought was there was no dinosaurs in Australia, and we proved them wrong.
We did, particularly with the big bugger that's standing here behind us. And the other thing is, because it's free, it's a great place to get out, stretch your legs directly across the road, and I'll cut into the footage of it. There's a general store, there's a petrol station, there's even a pub you can go and have some lunch. So, yeah, great for us, great for kids if you've got them to get out and walk around, just to explore the dinosaurs near. And as we said before, and I'll say it again, it's free.
It's free. Well, donations are always happily accepted.
Of course they are. Here's something I had no clue of. This representation of the Muttaburrasaurus's leg is Queensland's state fossil emblem. Well, that's the end of this week's episode. We really hope that you enjoyed it. We had a great time. We went out, we've done the sculpture trail, didn't we?
I really enjoyed the sculpture trail. It was a real little gem.
Yeah, certainly. And as we said in the episode, if you're coming up and you're going to Hughenden and you're coming via Barcaldine, The other way obviously is to come up through Aramac. You can spend a cheap night there in either the camp where we stayed, or you can go and get some power and water for $20 on the other side of town and go and spend the day doing the sculpture trail. It's a great adventure, it's just a great day out. And then make your way up to Muttaburra as we have, and you can come here to the Interpretation Centre and check out the dinosaurs that used to live here about 120 million years ago. But anyway, if you like today's episode, please hit the like button before you go. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. And if you want to leave a comment or a question about anything you saw in today's episode, please go ahead and do that, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We hope you have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday when we head to Porcupine Gorge. See you later.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.